Hello everyone and welcome back once again to the series of online lectures over design of precious concrete structural elements. And in today's session we are going to uh, solve a small problem to get or to calculate the stresses in propped and unpropped condition. So, before going to this, in the last session I discussed, I will just call back, okay, I will recall back the previous session. So, in the previous session I discussed about the what is composite construction, okay, what is composite structural members, then I shown you the different types of the members, what are the different types of members used in the precast section. Okay. Then after that we discuss about what is the stress behavior, in the propped and unpropped condition. We discuss about how the stresses will develop in the concrete when it is propped condition, in unpropped condition, or if it is propped condition. What is the change in behavior, or what is the change in stress calculation, okay, because of if it is unpropped condition and propped condition. So as in today's session I am going to discuss about how to get this stress distribution by taking a small problem, okay. So so we will solve with the problem, so then we can understand in better way, so how to get this stress distribution, how to get the properties, how to choose properties, which property you have to choose first when it is considered as composite section and when it is considered as only a precast girder, okay. So let us solve a problem now. So I will read out the statement of the problem here, okay. So it is given a precast pre-tensioned beam of a rectangular section has a breadth of 100 mm and depth of 200 mm. The beam with an effective span of 5 meter, it is a width of beam is 100 mm, depth of beam is 200 mm, and the beam with an effective span of 5 meter is prestressed by tendons with their centroids coincide with the bottom curve, okay. Then the initial force in the tendon is 150 kilonewton. The loss of prestress may be assumed to be 15%. So there is a loss of prestress is 15%. The beam is incorporated in a composite T-beam by casting a top flange of breadth 400 mm and thickness 40 mm, okay. So again, after the girder size, the beam is incorporated in a composite T-beam by casting a top flange, a breadth of 400 mm and thickness of 40 mm, okay. If the composite beam supports a live load of 8 kN per meter square, calculate the resultant stress developed in the precast and in situ cast concrete, assuming the pretension beam as unpropped and propped during casting of slab. Assume same modulus of elasticity of concrete in precast beam and in situ cast slab. So this is the given here. So we have to find out the stresses due to when the beam is unpropped and propped, okay. So we will start with the solution now. So first of all we will note down the or we will calculate the properties and we will note down, okay. So here it is given as I will just calculate the properties according to the given this thing. So as per given data, we have the area of the rectangular section, that is 100 by 200. Okay, so that is 20,000 mm square, and the section modulus Z is BD square by 6 I, so that is B D square by 6, that is BD square by 6. So we will get this as 667 into 10 to 3 mm cube. Okay, and they are given the precessing force as 150 kilonewton at kern centroid of the bottom kern at bottom kern. So these are the given data. These are the, so first of all we will calculate the stress due to precessing force. Okay, so we will calculate one by one. So here only I will calculate first. Okay, so first stress due to precessing force is 2P by A. So we will get this as, so 2 into P is 150 into 10 is to 3 divided by R is 20,000. So we get this as 15 Newton per mm square. 15 Newton per mm square. Okay, then so therefore the effective pre-stress is 0.85 times 15. So we will get as 12.8 Newton per mm square, that is 0.85 times 15, that is 12.8 Newton per mm square. Okay, so then so we got the effective pre-stress is 12.8 Newton per, so that is the stress due to precessing force. The stress due to precessing force, that is effective by, because they are given the loss of 15%. They are given the loss of 15%. Okay, understood. So that's why we will get 12.8 Newton per mm square. Okay, so we will next move on to the next step, that is we have, after that, okay, after that we have the next step, that is the moment due to self weight. Okay, that is the moment due to self weight. So we will get this by, that is W self to L square by 8. Okay, L is 5 meter, W is 480. So how you got that? So it is the self weight of the precast beam is, so here, so I can write here the self weight is 0.1 is depth, 0.2 is width, sorry, 0.1 by 0.2, 0.1 is width, 0.2 is depth, into 24 into 10 to 3. So we will get this as 480 Newton per meter. So we will get this as 480 Newton per meter. Same you have to use here. So that is, see, WL square by 480. So we will get the moment due to self weight as 1500 Newton meter. Okay, so then the stress at top and bottom. So the stress has at top and bottom. So this is nothing but M by Z. This is M by Z. So M is 1500 into 10 to 3 to make it Newton mm. 150. So these three, 1, 2, 3 to make it Newton mm, divided by Z. Z we have already calculated. I think we have calculated the value of Z. Just I want to show you that. Okay. Yes, we have calculated the value of Z here already. 667 into 10 to 3. So we can check here 667 into 667 into 10 to 3. So we got the stress due to self weight of the girder is 2.25 Newton per mm square. That is plus and minus. Then self-weight of cast in situ slab. So it is given, I think I have not shown the properties here. So it is given, it is like this. Show with different color. Wait. Okay. So we have, it is like this. We have, it's a precast girder, and over that a cast in situ slab. Okay. So the size of this is 400 by 40. The size of this is 100 by 200. Size of this is 100 by 200. Correct na? The precast beam is 100 by 200, and the beam is incorporated with the composite T beam by casting a top flange 400 mm and 40 mm thickness. So 400 mm and 40 mm thickness. Okay, understood. So these are the properties we have. Then after that, so it is 0.4 width and 0.04 depth into 24. So we got 384 Newton meter, the self-weight of the cast in situ slab. Then we have the moment due to self-weight, that is again WL square by 8. So that is 1200 Newton mm. So therefore the stress due to self-weight is again M by Z. M is 1200 into 10 to 3 divided by Z is 667 into 10 to 3. So we got 1.8 plus or minus 1.8 Newton per mm square. Then now for lie load, you have to consider the properties of composite section. So as I told you, when it is propped and unpropped, what is the difference? You have to consider the stresses due to lie load, that is for composite section. So we have to find out the properties of composite section now. So you can easily find out here again. So here if you see, just a minute. So here, by considering the composite section, (40), 400, 100, 200. So first of all, you have to locate the moment of inertia. You have to locate the moment of inertia. For that you have to use again that is the YT. So I will calculate with respect to top, so or bottom. So I will write as YB. So that is summation of A Y bar divided by summation of A. Correct na? So that is summation. See, 100 into 200 into 100. Correct? Plus 400 into 40 into, from bottom it is 200 plus 20, that is 220. Divided by area is 200 into 100 plus 40 into 400. So we will get this as, from bottom we will get 153 mm, and at top, so we will get it as 87 mm. Okay. So if I want to show that, so suppose if this is our the centroid. Okay, from bottom we have, it is 153, and from top we have 87 mm. Understood? So this is the central axis. So we have to find out the moment of inertia about the central axis. So we will get again I, that is I plus A square, that is I cell plus A square, that is I is 100 into 200 cube divided by 12 plus I plus A square, so 100 into 200 into 53 square, I will explain that, plus for flange 400 into 40 cube by 12 plus 400 into 40 into 67 square. Okay, so here you can see B is 100, D is 200, so BD cube by 12 plus 100 into 200, area 100 into 200 into 53 square. So see, total is 153 minus, if I make it 200 by 200, so 153 minus 100, you will get 53 square. Then 400 into 40 cube by 12, 400 into 40 cube by 12 plus area is 400 by 40 into total is 87, 87 minus 20. So how much you will get? 67, 67 square. So this will get it as 196.79 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. So we will get I as 196.79 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Understood? So this is regarding this. So we got the moment of inertia, then the section modulus I by, so ZT means I by YT and ZB means I by YB. I by YT, I by YB. Okay. So then live load, you have to calculate the live load also. So we got 3200 Newton per meter and the maximum live load moment, that is WL square by 8. So we got this. So now the stress is due to live load in the composite section. See, you have to use the properties of composite section because it is a unpropped or propped, whatever. Okay. So you have to use, when you consider live load, you have to use the properties of composite section. So that is, you can see we have calculated, it is 1 into 10 to 7 divided by YT and YB. So we got 4.45 Newton per mm square and 7.85 Newton per mm square. Understood? Then when the section is propped, if the pretension beam is propped. So just now we discussed about unpropped condition. Now if it is propped, so the self weight of the slab acts on a composite section. So when we consider a propped section, so that time we have to consider the self weight of the section act on the compression or the composite section. Okay. So then we got the moment due to the slab, we already calculated, that is 1200 Newton meter. Then the stress due to this movement in the composite section is, that is at top again M by Z, M by Z. So that is ZT and ZB you have to use. Okay. So after getting all these things, and when I compile this, okay, when I compile and if I want to produce that into the diagram, so I can show you this. So this is for again unpropped and propped. Okay. So here we have got, I will just show you. So we have got the stress due to self weight 2.25, 2.25. So you can see here plus or minus 2.25. We have got the stress due to self weight, that is 2.25 Newton per mm square. Then after that, stress due to the effective pre-stress as 12.8. So just now, so we have got it is as 12.8. So 12.8. One you have to use due to pre-stress, due to self weight, then due to the self weight of slab. So that is due to self weight of slab, you have got it as 1.8 and 1.8. So I can, where I can show here, you can see stress is due to self weight of precast section. So that is 1.8 plus or minus 1.8. Okay. So this we got 1.8. Then for live load, we have calculated for live load separately for unpropped condition. So you have got 4.5 compression means positive, 7.85 tension means negative. See, tension 7.85, positive 4.45, and this is the resultant pre-stress by after adding all plus and minus. Okay. So after that next is for propped condition. So this is for unpropped and one more is for propped condition. And we have the properties here. The centroidal is 87 153, which is used for dead load and the live load. Okay. So this will remain same, there is no change. This will also remain same, there is no change. Only the change is here due to the self weight of the cast in situ concrete and live load. So that we have calculated separately. So this is also same as we have done here. Okay, this will also remain same, that is 4.4 positive, that is compression, 7.85 negative, that is tension, okay, which is mentioned here also, positive and negative. Understood? So this is for propped condition. We have calculated the stresses separately by considering the properties of composite section, because we have used the ZT and ZP for composite section. Okay, so we have got it is 0.53 Newton per mm square, 0.94 Newton per mm square. So this is for positive 0.53 and this is for negative, that is compression 0.94 and tension 0.53 Newton per mm square. So this is regarding the stress calculation in the precast concrete beam due to the change in the condition, that is unpropped and propped. See, what is the change here? Only this is a change. You can observe only this is a change. For unpropped condition, when you calculate the stresses due to self-weight, you have to use the properties of only precast section. But when you consider the propped condition, you have to use the properties of composite section, not precast section. You have to use the properties of composite section. Understood? So because of that, we can see the difference in the stress distribution. There is a reduction in the stress distribution. Okay. So this is regarding today's session. Okay. Thank you.